let's get this call started. So welcome, of course, to our 5 and 4 star diamond call today. Like I said, we're combining forces, which will be super fun. Heather has been a 4-star diamond. I mean, she's been a coach with us for such a long time, meaning that she is such a well-seasoned coach and does an incredible job. Absolutely adore her business. Everything about it is absolutely incredible. So I love the fact that you're joining forces and seeing and being part of these 5-star diamonds here today. So with that being said, so welcome her in, ladies. Make her feel welcomed because she will be here in this call very soon. I just called you out, girlfriend.
That's fine. Call me out.
You're like, all right, I love it. So anyways, ladies, with that being said, how many of you listened to the National Wake Up Call today? Did you? Andy, you haven't had a chance to? You did? Okay. So today's call was very special, and I think the reason why is just because Melissa McAllister, of course, is absolutely amazing, but I love the fact after 8 years, she still finds joy in what she does. And that is what will make you a lifer with Beachbody. That's what will make you show up every single day. So I just want to ask, and I want to just dig a little bit deeper, and I really, would suggest that you share the replay with your coaches on the National Wake Up Call, because it was it just gave you a bigger vision of what this is all about and how it's not get rich quick, but it's really all about helping people and where do you find your passion. So with that being said, I just want to open it up and say, where have you found your joy in this business and why? Ready, go. And you can unmute yourself and just talk freely. This is a free for all.
I just muted because we've got construction going on next door, so I didn't want it to be like
yeah, no, you're good.
Well, obviously I've found joy because I've done this now for 6 years. I've been a coach. So that's something that, as I was listening this morning, though, I realized that I need to focus more on that of the day-to-day, because it can get to the point where, as much as we love what we do, it still can be, we treat it like a job, where, you get up, you have to go through your to-do list and talk to your coaches. And, if you look at it that way, then you lose all the joy. So for me, I think it's been, finding joy in the fact that, I get to do this instead of I'm having to do this. There's a big mindset difference, I think, between saying those things. But also, I actually find joy in finding new ways to reach people, my coaches, finding new ways to interact with them and new ways to, find ways for them to participate. And so for me, the communication has always been part of my joy, finding excitement in those things, so as we got, things like Zoom came up, amazing to me, that fueled me, things like the health bet, I got super excited for that. So the innovation and finding new things, for me, that's joy, because I don't like that mundane routine so much, although my former job was an accountant, so I do somewhat like that. However, that's one of the reasons I don't do that anymore, right? Why I work so hard to get to this, because that, if there's anything that's mundane, it's that. So for me, being able to switch things up and having the freedom to, say hey, we're going to go to lunch today, or, hey, we're going to go see a movie this afternoon, those sorts of things, that's where I really have to focus. Because it can get to be that, okay, got to get up and do my to-do list and all these things. So for me, it's trying to find ways to switch it up, that innovation, finding new ways of communicating, all those things.
No, that is awesome. I love the fact you said being able to communicate with who you're working with. But also, I love that you said you can go to lunch, you can do the things that you want to do. That's what this is all about. Build a life by design. So, and I have a lot of coaches that feel that they shouldn't do that, especially when they quit their full-time job. And it's no, that's why you do this. Make those pockets, make those breaks so you can do that. Thank you so much for sharing. Who wants to go next?
I'll share.
Thank you.
So Brittany knows this, but I should probably talk about this more, but recently I was able to leave my full-time job and be a stay-at-home mom, and I've got 2 kids, and that's probably my most recent joy, is having that freedom to be home, to not have to stress about the finances, to be able to work on my own schedule. I'm still trying to figure that stuff out because it's such a huge change. And Brittany knows, this is my first time hopping on the call, but figuring out how to get my kids fed before, this call, and get them to preschool and work while they're gone and make sure that I'm on task. But the thing I love so much about this business is that I get to work when I want to work. And, we've been able to do things that I could never do before. Like I got to go visit my grandma last week and spend the afternoon with her. I got to take my kids on a hike, on last Friday, and we went and hiked up Donut Falls, and just these little things that I missed so much being able to do because I was working full time. It was like I could only do that on Saturday. Well, I usually had to clean my house on Saturday because I worked full time during the week. So that's kind of my joy right now in this business. And I can't even there's so many other things that I love about it and that have, it's blessed my life in so many ways, but that's what I feel so strongly about right now.
And Melissa, how long have you been a coach for?
2.5 years.
Okay, awesome. So that's what I wanted to ask, because, as you progress with this, you do have to find those different pockets of joy. One thing I wanted to say, though, since she's newly staying at home with her kids, and this is now becoming more of a full-time, part-time / full-time, is there any suggestions that you ladies would kind of throw out there since she's kind of learning how to do it all?
Yeah.
And not to work? Do you have any suggestions?
I would just say, make sure you keep your business hours.
Mm-hmm.
And protect that. So when you're in family time, don't be on your phone. That's the main thing. Really have those set hours and keep it, because somebody messaging you can wait.
Amen, Sharon. I love that.
I just wanted to share real quick. I read this great book by Shonda Rhimes that you should read, Melissa, because you'll really love it. I don't know if you've read Year of Yes by her, but she talks. Okay, you should read it because she talks about this one portion, and it doesn't ruin the book for me to say this, but because it's a great book, and she's obviously a fantastic storyteller, but she talks about how she's getting ready to go to, I think it's an award ceremony, award show or something, and she's all dressed up in her fancy gown, and one of her kids comes up and says, "Mommy, can we play?" And she's thinking, oh my God, great dress, just got my hair and makeup done, jam hands, what do I do? And she realized at that moment, my kid only wants to play for so many years and only wants to play for 15 minutes. I can wait. I can spend those 15 minutes. So I think just be in that moment, I think that's something that will help, just think about, what, hey, if my kid does come and say, I want to play or whatever it might be, just say, yeah. Because now you can say, yes, I can stop what I'm doing right now and go do that. So that book, I think you'll really like it. It's just a good recommendation.
Thank you. I'm going to get that today.
That's one of Keyshawn Graves' favorite books. And I'm like, okay, Cliff noted it for me. And then she said it. I'm like, okay, I really need to read that because it is, yes. Love that.
A Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. Yeah, so she's the one who wrote Grey's Anatomy and all those. So she tells amazing stories. So you will fly through the book because it's so entertaining. But yeah, it's just amazing and good little tidbits in there.
Yeah, love it. Thank you. And I think the only other thing to add on to that is just be intentional with your time. Set those business hours, but make sure that you still make it that you have limited time, because if you allow yourself so many hours, you'll procrastinate, and then you'll get done with the end of the day and think, what did I even accomplish? So just be very intentional, because it's easy just to kind of pitter patter when you have 8 hours to do 2 hours of worth of stuff that you used to do. So very, very cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Welcome to the call, Sharon. Love it. Diana, Andy, Sharon, do you want to just share with us any of your thoughts on what brings joy to you with this business?
I find the most joy in when I really connect with my challengers. And as cliche as that sounds, but when I'm feeling overwhelmed with the business and just bogged down with things and negative, a lot of times it's because I'm not focusing on what got me into this in the first place. And I'm so worried about rank, and I'm so worried about who's going to drop and what my coaches are doing or not doing. And, why my challenge group is so quiet. And then I realize it's all a reflection of me and my lack of joy and me not pouring into those people who said yes to me. And so I've been thinking about this a lot, instead of focusing on all the no's, which the no's don't bother me anymore. I feel like anybody at this point in the business can agree that the no's don't really get to you anymore. You don't become numb to it, but it doesn't affect you like it did in the beginning. But when you're not in Success Club yet, or you're not, wherever you want to be in your business yet, it's so easy to let all that negativity creep in. And for me, at least at the beginning of the month, I'm always so focused on Success Club, and sometimes that takes the joy out of it. And I have to constantly remind myself that is not why I'm doing this. That's not why I got into this in the first place. And when I refocus on my challenge groups, which I've been trying to do so hard, specifically for the last few months, it's just brought that joy back. I mean, I just had a good friend of mine who told me no over a year ago. She just left my house with her 2 little ones. She was so grateful that I took all my morning to explain to her the containers and the fix and get her going right. And that's where I find my joy, is that one individual who now she's like, you know, she's been waiting. She wasn't ready yet. Her mindset wasn't right. And her husband was telling her, oh, Andy's just trying to rope you into something, you know, all these things. I'm like, you can honestly tell me that, because I was there before. My husband was there before. And I wanted you to get to the point where you were ready for this. And I find joy in that. Almost like finding the joy in that obstacle, because I can relate to it and I can help her so much better now. And now she's ready for the challenge group that we started today, and she will get results because she's ready. And that's where my joy from this comes from. So all this talk the last few months about staying in phase 1, to me, that's my phase 1. And when I bring it back to that, everything else comes in terms of Success Club and everything else. And it's all my mindset first, and how much I pour into my individual challengers, not just in the challenge group, but really reaching them individually. That's what really fills me up, I feel like, as a coach.
Loved that. Thank you so much for sharing. I just want to hit on one point. The whole Success Club, you're absolutely right. If you start thinking sales mentality and you start thinking, oh my gosh, I have to repeat it, redo this, what am I doing? It can numb you. But if you find the joy in the process of, okay, I get to help, 5 people and make it a better them and focus on that, you're going to find those ones and you're going to hit it regardless. So perfect. Thank you so much. What about you, Diana?
I agree with Andy. Whenever I get like stressed out, especially with Success Club, I go back to my challenge groups and my challengers, and yeah, that totally brings me joy too, because that's why I started. And that's funny that you mentioned that, Andy, because now a lot of my close friends and family didn't join me in the beginning, which I'm pretty sure like everybody experiences that. But now they're coming around and like, okay, I'm ready. And like, it's so exciting, I mean, even though we do it like over and over and over, but it is exciting to have like, especially the ones that you're close with and have said no to you, over and over and over. Yeah. And to help them with their journey and get their results. Super exciting. But yeah, I love Melissa McAllister because I totally connect with that, like with her style as far as like how she focuses on challengers, how she like only recruits, not a minimum, but she doesn't hit, Success Club 50 all the time, which in my mind, I thought like in order to be in the top 10, not like I'm shooting for top 10, maybe later, but I thought like in order to be them, you would have to hit those kind of numbers, which that is just outrageous to me. Like, I don't even think that I don't know, but like, so listening to her, even at Summit, I was like, oh, okay, she does what we do. And, and still like be in the top 10. And yeah, so I really enjoy listening to her.
I love it. Well, and she said a key thing, she doesn't ever pressure anybody into coaching. She literally looks for business professionals just like her, and then if they want it, then she will put them in. But she's not going to waste her time, and she's not going to, do anything for her personal gain. So with that, people start to trust her, believe in her. But she isn't a massive recruiter, but when she definitely, when she does recruit a coach, she holds their hand and takes them with her, which I absolutely love that. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Sharon, let's go to you.
Well, I would say, are we still talking about joys of the business?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, it's the freedom that I think somebody already touched on, financial freedom. absolutely. And the community, the sisterhood. Like I'm just sitting here, and I knew Heather, but that, you know, I didn't know you guys, and I just love how we can connect with other people. And it's amazing. I've been in this a long time, so I've seen just the changes in it, and but I love it. You know, somebody said they were talking to their coaches about, you know, just like why they do it, why they stay in, and they said, imagine you wake up tomorrow and all this is gone, like everything, Beachbody's gone, everything's gone. What would you miss the most? And it's such a good thing to think about, because a lot of times, you know, it's not the little things, it's the community and all that feel. So I think that's where I found my joy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Heather just reached out and said that they hit something next door, lost internet and power.
Oh no.
Maybe that's why she had a bump off, because it's construction, obviously. Oh no, we miss you. I know you'll probably listen to this, but oh, that stinks. So let's kind of go into the next phase of this, is how do you recruit coaches into your business? Are majority of you recruiting from your challenge groups? And why? And I mean, I think obviously that is the best way. And has always been the best way to bring coaches in, because they are lifers. But kind of tell me your process. They believe in the products. How do you recruit?
I recruit mainly from my challenge groups. Even if somebody, sorry, we have a new puppy, and yeah, and
You're fine.
but I believe that, like, what I think Melissa even said that about, like, that they have to go through a challenge group, and they have to, like, fall in love with the products. And because all of my coaches actually are from the challenge groups. I've only recruited a few that actually came to me about coaching, but it starts with a challenge group, and like I always tell them, like, focus on yourself first and get your own results, and share your journey along the way. But those are not my most successful coaches. Like the ones that don't like really engage in the challenge groups and really fall in love with the challenge groups, those are not my most successful ones. So I looked at my coaches, and I'm like, it is true. The ones that like fall in love with the challenge groups and the community of the challenge groups, and like enjoy the community, the whole thing, and those are the successful ones, because they can they can go invite like a ton of people, and they don't care. Like if anyone says no, they're like, okay, well, whatever. I'm still gonna go invite, and it's like it doesn't bother them. But yeah,
totally, completely agree. What about you, ladies? Melissa, Sharon, what would you say? How do you do it?
Yeah,
and there's not a wrong way.
Yeah,
I promise you that.
I was gonna say, my upline is like a rock star recruiter from her challenge groups, and I feel like I haven't been that way. For me, a lot of my coaches have done a lot of Beachbody programs in the past, but then stopped and tried other things, and then have seen what I've been doing, didn't even know about the coaching opportunity, and then have joined my team, because they just bought it from Amazon, or they bought it off of the website, didn't have any idea that they even were assigned to a coach, just a lot of those things. So, but recently I've been really working to kind of help my challengers see that they can do this too, and making a better, or I guess doing a better job myself of making sure my challengers know about the opportunity, that it's not like you have to be a professional, you don't have to be an expert. You can do exactly what you're doing in our challenge group right now and be a coach and, do what I do. So I don't know why it's been that way for me, but I would say probably 80% of my coaches have not come from my challenge groups, which I think is kind of different than a lot of people.
Totally. But I mean, if you think about it, your social media presence, like they're seeing what you're doing, how you're living your life. And you said a perfect thing when we first started this call. You said it's something that you have not talked about a lot, meaning be able to leave corporate America. So that might be your new twist of your story, of course, with the, Beachbody does not guarantee, please include, but they're watching you. And so regardless, if they're watching you immediately, I'm assuming you throw them into a challenge group so they can get and experience that. So however you bring them is completely fine, but make sure that they do go through a challenge group. They're starting to love and learn it so that they can do the same thing. But no, it all depends on kind of what you do. But I love that.
Yeah, all of my coaches, and one thing I always stress with my new coaches, whether they've done a program or not, I always tell them, like, you focus on your journey first. And that's what we do, and that's what they share. They're focused on themselves. It's not like trying to get people right away to jump in with them, but just sharing what they're doing, and people will naturally be like, well, you lost 5 pounds last week? Like, what'd you do, So,
yeah.
Anyway.
I love that.
Kind of the same thing, just a little bit reversed.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. What about you, Andy, Sharon? Do you want to share anything?
Well, I would just agree with that. I think that people have to use the products. They have to have some kind of result, whatever it is. Like, even if it's a fitness professional who is already in shape, they have to believe in the products and be able to share whatever results they have. Because I've seen people come in just for the business, which is why I came in. So I started trying to recruit like that for a little while. I just don't believe that works long term if someone's not buying into the products and using the products and using, following a program and things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. My Rockstar coaches are all product lovers first. And anybody who I've had come in for the business hasn't lasted. And anybody I've recruited from Help Wanted ads or coach ads through Facebook, nobody from those have stuck, which is a bummer. To try to figure it, because I know that there's some coaches out there who are successful with that, and I certainly haven't figured that one out yet. So I just really have gone back to my challenge groups and making sure, like Melissa said, that they know the opportunities there and finding ways to kind of like slip it into the challenge group without being like, hey, you want to be a coach? You want to be a coach? Because what I found success in early on was more behind the scenes, talking to the individual challengers personally about coaching rather than having the challenge group be this like billboard for becoming a coach. And that's where I found more of my success. So as I move forward, and I am so, jazzed about this opportunity, I feel like one thing that's holding me back is I talk about it a lot, which we're supposed to when we need to, but I feel like there's some sort of disconnect with the way I recruit in a way, because my Rockstar coaches are some of my very first coaches. And since then I've had discount coaches, I've had people come and go, and I keep going like, what is the difference? And it always comes back to me and how I'm doing. And I think I share more now about the business, which is great, but something about that is obviously coming across, not how I used to come across when it all started with the product. So I think that's something to think about too, when I'm talking to my challengers individually. Am I leading too much with the business and all the opportunity, and you can do this and this and this? I think I need to personally scale that back and just keep it simple like I did in the beginning. Hey, did you know that you're doing awesome in the challenge group and you're already doing so much of what I do? Have you considered it? And just have it quit there. That's just something that I've reflected on recently. I hope that's helpful. You guys are kind of in that same boat as I am. So I feel like I've been like giving them way too much info in the beginning, and then they sign up maybe with all these hopes and dreams. And I'm not saying I promised anything or anything, but when you get to this level, they're seeing also what I post on social media. So I've had people jump in with this idea of like, well, Andy quit her job, I want to do that too. And even though I spend a lot of time telling them what I do, how much time it's taken, what my day looks like, what it looked like when I was a baby coach, and all along the way, they still have that idea of like, well, I've been doing this 3 months and I'm nowhere near completing my job, so I don't want to do it anymore. So I feel like that's hard at this stage of the business. Does anybody have any insight on how you work that? Because I feel like it's been easier for me to recruit quantity-wise, but the quality's not there. And I think it's because people are like, shoot, yeah, sign me up. I'll quit my job too. And it's like, well, no, because you didn't see all the work I put in. Like, you need to put in your work, you know? That's hard.
Yeah. What would you ladies say? 'Cause that's a perfect. Anything? I have something I'll add on, but I mean, if you ladies want to speak first, I would love that.
I was just going to say, I feel you, because I don't share my income with people right away, just because I've been in a long time and the way I built my business and all. I think, I think letting people know that it's a process, it's an investment of your time, just like your fitness. You know, you don't just do all the programs all at once and see results. And I think it's still a numbers game in the sense that it's just not for everybody, because some people just want that. It's like the people that want some magic pill to lose weight, they want some magic wealth pill, and there's not one. And I think they just have to understand network marketing. Like, I literally studied network marketing when I got started, because I saw these other people in other companies being successful, and I was like, okay, so how does all this work? So I think that's part of it. I think that's just an issue we're all going to have always. It's just kind of a constant thing when you're dealing with people. Some people are going to be in and some aren't. But I think just letting them know that it is work. It's just compressing. You know, there's a great book called The 4-Year Career, which I highly recommend. And it just talks about compressing a career into 4 years. 40-year career into 4 years. So there's sacrifice. You're sacrificing now for more later, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I feel you. Definitely.
That's perfect.
Andy, what you said about like connecting with them personally, that's what I do. Like, I'll, because I like to message or send a voice message or whatever to challengers, like, oh my gosh, you're doing so awesome and whatever. And I give little prizes in our challenge groups, and the ones that win are always the ones that are like doing awesome, and then so that even gives me another way of like communicating with them, and then I'll always like ask or tell them our next challenge group starts on October 3rd. Do you know anybody that would want to join us? And like, oh yeah. And then I'll obviously tell them about coaching, but I like to do it that way to like make them think like off the bat, like it's really simple. Like, invite somebody to the challenge group. And I mean, bottom line, so as soon as like, if they sign up 1 or 2 people or whatever to join the challenge group, then they kind of see that it's that simple. And then I go into like the coach training and stuff, if they're open, but I don't know, that's what works for me most of the time.
That's really helpful.
It's brilliant, because if you do that, I mean, then you can just really say, hey, that's what I do as a coach. And all you ladies, you said it perfectly, Andy. You said at the beginning, I kept it simple. And you kept it simple because you had limited information and you just knew how to make it happen. So I'm going to go back to, if something has worked, don't ever change from it until it stops working. So keeping your message simple is absolutely critical. But I would also say, there's a couple different things that they do need to know. Success Club is a tool that will definitely teach them. It's a tracking system for their business. So, teaching them that, but then on top of it, how to earn income. Other than that, keep it very, very simple, because if you do give too much information, it's overwhelming, and overwhelming can just paralyze people. So, Andy, I think you said it perfectly. Write down everything that you did when you first were a coach that made you successful, and go back to that, and don't change from it unless it doesn't work anymore. But keeping it simple, keeping it very, direct and to the point, and just help 3 people, bring them to the challenge group, let's get it started, however it may be. But you said it perfectly. I think if you just go back to that, and all your accolades and all of those things, they'll see that through social media. But if is this business a lot of work? Absolutely. But I will show you the key things that are going to move your business forward. They're going to allow you to get your products paid for. They're going to allow you to help people. And from there, you can determine where this is going to go for you. So with that being said, there's only a couple minutes left. There's about 7 minutes left. Is there anything else that you want to share on that, ladies? No? Okay. Let's just I just want to ask one last question, but what makes you show up every single day to this business and why? And let's keep this like literally 15 seconds each. I just want to know why. Any of you can go.
Impact and freedom. That's two.
Impact and freedom. I like it. Impact and freedom. Okay. And it can be more than 2 words if you would like it to be.
Yeah, I was thinking my family and my team, which, you know, they have all kind of become my family. And just because I love doing it, like it doesn't feel like a job. It's something that I get to do. I don't ever feel like I'm working. It's fun. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in and the healthiest we've ever been. My family is all, you know, kind of changing their lifestyles. It's like amazing how it just kind of filters through everyone you know without you even having to, you know, like my dad's not even in a challenge group or anything. He's not even doing a program, but he started walking every day. He's lost like 80 pounds since his heaviest weight. And I mean, he was really overweight, you know? And so it's just like those little things that, I mean, it doesn't even have to be, it's not about the money. It's about everything else.
Love it. What about you, Sharon? Oh, Sharon did say it. Diana, what did you say? What makes you show up every day?
The freedom, like the possibility of sorry, my son, of freedom, family, and being able to help others like do that. Like, you know, I have a stay-at-home moms as coaches, and like the dreams of, you know, for them, it's like it's really exciting. That's why I
love
do
it. Perfect. What about you, Andy?
You guys have all said it all. I agree. The changes in myself, my family, being able to be home with these guys, which is the biggest blessing and what also makes this kind of hard, not gonna lie. But the mommy in the background, yeah. It's worth it though, because otherwise I'd be sleeping right now, getting ready to go to a night shift. So.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, ladies, thank you for jumping on. I really, truly believe that you just need to take this joy, this passion of what you do to your teams and share it with them. Go live within your groups, whatever you need to do to just really see where their interest is at. What makes them show up every single day? What brings them joy? And of course, share Melissa McAllister's National Wake Up Call, because that is just why we should do the business, like why we're truly here to help others. And if they can focus on that, they will be successful because they're making other people successful, which makes you successful. If you absolutely love that, which we all do. I mean, I show up every single day because I adore every single one of you. And I love the fact that I get to be there through some of the greatest and some of the hardest moments of your life. Sometimes I'm a counselor, but you know what? I wouldn't trade it for the world because that's what I love to do. So thank you, ladies, so much for jumping on today. Enjoy your day. Really, after these calls, take a moment, kind of understand it all and take it to your team. That's where you're going to see the business or the beauty of this business grow, and they'll be able to see the bigger picture. So you all have a great day, and I'll see you. No call next week. I'm actually traveling for a diamond retreat, so we won't have another call until October 3rd, which is crazy. But that will be the last 3 months of the year. So I'll see you in October. Y'all take care. If you need anything, just reach out, okay?
And I hope you
Thanks,
feel better
ladies.
with your smile.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.